Again on the ice, Faribault Elks Lodge, number 1166, having their annual youth ice fishing contest. Bob Cochran, who's ice fisherman extraordinaire, is in studio today. This is on French Lake. You should see the look on me. On Saturday, February 27th. Hours are 11 until 2. This is a weather permitting event. Bob's going to give us all the details about that, talk a little bit about the Elks as well, because we had an interesting conversation before the show about, the various organizations and how difficult it is to get members these days. And if these clubs go bye-bye, these sorts of things will probably go bye-bye too. So we need to get some people out and joining these clubs so they can help out their communities. So Bob is in studio today. Tomorrow Jerry will be filling in. I had an uncle pass away earlier this week. He had a great life, 95 years, so that's fantastic. But we're going to go down and say goodbye to Uncle Don, and we'll be doing that tomorrow. So Jerry's kind enough to fill in for me. Dusty Dienst, Faribault Fire Chief, will be in studio. I know when he was last on the program, we had some topics we wanted to touch on that we didn't touch on, and so we made a list of some of those, like we're going to talk about extension cords and ice dams and carbon monoxide detectors. Those are some of the things we didn't touch on last time he was on the show. So he'll be joining Jerry tomorrow on AM Minnesota. Monday, Shelly Rockman will be in studio from the South Central Foundation. They have their annual fundraiser coming up. Steve Pribble is the District 1 CEO, as the chairperson of the foundation drive. We'll get the details on Monday. Jim Call of the Minnesota soybean growers had a trip to South America. He'll be visiting with Jerry next Tuesday. That should be very interesting. And we got a brain guy coming on Wednesday. His name is Dave Farrell. He's written a book on the brain. It's very interesting. This guy is phenomenal. We'll share more about that as the day draws near. Carter Martin will be in on Thursday of next week, talking about what's happening at the Paradise. And Rice County Attorney John Fossum is scheduled to be with us next Friday for his monthly visit. We got Rice County Habitat for Humanity coming in on the 22nd. They've got a special ice golf event that's coming up. We'll give more details about that. John Dvorak will have his first in our series of looks at the Rice County Fair. That's right. Already come up. February 23rd, he'll be in studio visiting with Jerry about that. And then on Thursday, February 25th, write this down in your calendar, folks. If you have any tax questions, H&R Block, with offices in Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville, will be sponsoring a special AM Minnesota program. Traditionally, we've had an expert from the Minnesota Department of Revenue join us and talk about some tax issues. And if you have questions, you can text those into the show. By the way, if you have questions for Bob today, you can text them too. 507-838-5233 is the number to text. Grab my phone here. 507-838. Oh my, that was quick. Just got a text. I'm not kidding. Look at that.
Wow.
There it is. Oh, okay. It says Mayo Clinic is following me on Twitter.
Wonderful.
The Mayo Clinic is following me. Should I call the law enforcement officials or what? What do you think, Bob?
I think it'll be all right with that, Gordy. So.
Hey, thanks for coming in today, Bob.
You bet. No problem. Thank you for having us. So.
Yeah. You've worked up at District 1 for how long now?
Well, I'm starting my 24th year at District 1 Hospital. So.
Isn't that something?
Yep.
They were nice enough to let you come over today.
They were very nice. So it's great to. They're very supportive of the community event that we're doing in that. So the ice fishing contest. So. Yeah,
we'll visit more with Bob Cochran about the event. We have an opening market report. I don't want to get too much involved in it. How long have you been involved in this since it started?
Yep, the concept with the youth ice fishing contest about 7-8 years now. So.
Yeah. And we were chatting before going on the air. There's a bit of lull in between because the Rice County Sports Fishing did it.
Yep, the Sports Fishing Association actually did an ice fishing contest for many years and so they were kind of leading a group there, and then we picked up the torch and ran with it and stuff. So.
And it's obviously been successful, or you wouldn't still be doing it?
We started, the first year we did the contest, we had 26 kids on the ice. Last year we registered 294 kids, and so we've been growing the contest and been doing just having a lot of fun with it. We get good volunteer support, and the community, the sponsorships are great.
All right, we got to get that opening market report files. If you need more information, just head to their website, prairiebrandseeds.com, or call Prairie Brand Seed Dealer in the Faribault area, Milt Olson. And our other KDHL Agri Booster at this time is Ag Power Enterprises, your John Deere dealer in Owatonna, Hollandale, Belle Plaine, also in Osage and Northwood, Iowa. If you'd like to be a KDHL Agri Booster, give Jerry Grosskreutz, KDHL Farm Director, call. It is really a neat program, and it's exactly what it says. You are boosting agriculture in southern Minnesota. Well, the Elks Club, of course, boosts all kinds of youth events, and we are again pleased to have with us Bob Cochran. He's a member of the committee that organizes this, right, Bob?
Yes, I've been part of the ice fishing committee for about 7 years. We've been doing the contest, and you know, we started with the concept. We had like 26 kids our first year. Each year we've grown, and we're at 294 kids last year. We've got a great bunch of committee chairs that, you know, each take a part of the contest to make it happen and stuff. You've got a transportation chair, you've got a prize chair, you've got hole drilling guy. You know, the guys that organize, you know, it takes several volunteers to drill all those holes out there and stuff. And so we got guys that are all part, and everybody does their part of it and makes it all happen and stuff. So.
Now, you were sharing with me before you hit the airwaves last year you had a 4-year-old win this.
We did, actually. She was 4 years old, had a 14-inch walleye come out of the water, and that was our contest winner. You know, with the contest, we went through the concept, you don't have to catch a fish to be a winner at all. So each kid's going to get a prize ticket when they come out. We go through our local sponsors, raise money, and we're actually, this is our way of promoting, you know, you feed a man for a day, you teach him to fish, you feed him for life, and that's, we're promoting good activities for kids, and ice fishing we feel is a good activity for these kids, and so we give them a fishing rod or some type of ice fishing equipment to help support, and so they can go out there. They also get a hot dog, a bag of chips, and lunch and a hot chocolate and stuff, so they get something warm, and it doesn't cost mom and dad a dime, and they just come out a little bit of their time out on the ice. We have guys out there that will drill the holes. We have a crew that once they're done drilling all the holes, they work with the kids coming out on the ice, make sure that they've got bait on their hooks, make sure their hook is at the right depth for that water, help them set the hook if they need be in that, and just make sure that they're taken care of. We've got bait from John's Bait and Tackle that's donated, you know, to us. So everybody, they just come out, and if they don't have a fishing pole, that's no problem. We actually have some jig sticks that we have available for them that they can use to go ice fishing with, and one of our guys gets those all set up and at the depth, and it just works out well.
Or if they have their own pole, they probably should bring it?
They can bring their own equipment if they have it. We do allow Vexilars and you know, depth finders and things on that order, and if they don't have their own equipment, we got it covered. So.
Wow. Again, the hours are 11 until 2 on French Lake. This is a weather permitting event. You were telling me not too long ago that you guys are going to head out on the lake about a week before to make your final determination.
Yeah, we're actually going to be probably the 21st or 22nd. We're going to drill some holes ourselves. You know, we had 294 kids on the ice last year. Well, that's 294 parents also, plus a bunch of volunteers. We want to make sure it's a safe, comfortable event for everybody. And so public safety is one of our primary concerns. So the committee is going to meet out on the ice. We're going to test it ourselves, make sure everything's okay. So we are at a comfort level that we can provide, you know, public safety. So.
Sure. I'm glad you brought that up, because I know you guys are requiring that these kids be accompanied by an adult.
Yes. We want the kids to have a good time, and we want their mom or dad or responsible adult to be there to supervise them, and we'll make sure that they have a good time and they have everything they need out on the ice, but we want to make sure an adult comes with. Like I said, it's a free contest, so.
You do get a lot of support for this. I mean, we don't have time to go over all the sponsors here, but you have a lot of sponsors.
We do have a great, the community really has been getting behind this project and stuff. We've had some of the same sponsors since the start that, you know, go out and just provide us, you know, $100, $200, whatever, and they can do for us. And it's, in fact, we actually have people, individuals in the community that just, you know, here's 20 bucks, you know, make sure these kids have something, you know. So it's been great that way, Gordy. I mean, I feel like it's really putting it's a community event for Faribault. And, you know, the folks out at Hoy's, we go out at Hoy's Resort. Judy's been great out there, and, you know, we get a lot of support from these sponsors. We go out and buy the prizes. We get discounts at different locations. So it's a win for the Faribault community. It's a win for the Elks. It's a win for the kids, mainly.
With 294 kids, I'm guessing, this is just a guess on my part, that many of these kids were not from Faribault.
We actually have had people, I think a couple years ago, we actually had somebody from Duluth that was visiting the area and actually came out. We have some folks that are a couple years ago were a 3-hour drive for them. And so we do get a wide range. It's actually a contest that is getting good reputation. It's a sport, or what I want to say is, it's known throughout southern Minnesota now as one. I don't want to say premier contest, but the contest is getting known quite a bit. So.
Yeah, to think you grew from 26 to 294.
It's pretty amazing when you think about those numbers. And we register the kids. We give them a prize pack when they come out on the ice, and we take care of them from there.
Yeah, well, KDHL proud to be one of your sponsors.
Well, we appreciate your guys' support. I mean, you help us, let us, you know, by your public service announcements and getting out there, getting the word out about the contest. So.
Yeah, and youth ice fishing contest is on Saturday, February 27th. You don't need to pre-register, right? You register there.
Nope. Actually, we have all the registration right out on the ice. We have a shuttle service. Actually, you don't even have to drive out on the ice. It's kind of a neat. We've got several sponsors that provide four-wheelers that come out on the ice. We'll have little trailers with hay bales on them. They drive right out to the contest, so you can leave your car on shore or near shore. We have the registrations right out there, so just show up. We'll register you for the contest. We'll get you all set up on bait. Get you in. The holes will all be drilled for you, and it works. It's fun, just you know, riding on the back of the four-wheeler. Kids have a great time with that part of the contest also.
Yeah, 11 until 2. It's just 3 hours.
Well, you know, we've tried running it longer, and you know, let's face it, it's fishing, it's weather. You know, you can have a great interest if the fish are really biting. Yep, I'll be there all day type of deal. But you know what? I'm 9, 10 years old, and if I'm not getting any nibbles, you know what? 2-3 hours is long enough.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. No, I thought that was about perfect timing-wise. So again, children need to be accompanied by an adult, and this is for kids under 16, and you're all in the same category, you were telling me, because we mentioned the 4-year-old who won last year. How cool
We
is that?
do, actually. We have 3 prize packages we put together for the kids, and actually one of our sponsors will actually have a trophy for them. They have a nice little trophy that comes out also that the kids will receive for first, second, and third place, and we put a package together for those winners, and it's all based on the length of the fish. So we go from there. We scale there. We have our measuring stick. We have a person that does that strictly, and we actually have a hole right there, right by the measuring station. So as soon as they catch the fish, if they don't want to keep the fish, we put it right back into the lake. So conservation is a big thing for us also.
Yeah, well, it's good. It teaches the kids too.
Well, I think, you know, again, goes back to this is a sport that, you know, kids can pick up on. It's Minnesota, you know, we love our winters, and this is a good winter activity. Plus, it's something that, you know, gets kids out of the house, gets them away from their iPads, gets them away from everything else. And
Let's hope so.
Well,
my guess is they'd probably take them with them on the ice,
but it's a little hard to jig and text at the same time.
No, right. Although I saw a young woman driving and texting at the same time when I was heading up the cities last night.
That's kind of scary.
Right next to me, I-35, I passing her, and I look over, and she's texting. She's driving.
Well, let's not do that anymore.
Looking at her phone. You know, but you see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this event is on February 27th. That is a Saturday. Take your kids, your grandkids, right?
Yes. We actually had a mother actually brought out 6 or 7 girls last year from a slumber party.
Cool.
And you know, we have our guys out there that helped all the girls make sure that their hooks were baited correctly. They were at the right depth for fishing, and the gals, they had a great time with it. And then they come over to the food tent and get a hot dog and a bag of chips and a hot chocolate to warm up with. And you know, it's meant to be fun, and it's a free contest. I can't, you know, thanks to our sponsors that make it happen and that. So.
And as you said, this is a sport where you don't have to be big or fast or strong or anything to fish.
I think the biggest thing with ice fishing sometimes is just to be patient.
It does teach that, doesn't it?
It does. So, yeah.
And unlike when you're, in the boat where you can go to another area. I mean, you can do that too on the ice, but it's a little different.
It is a little different. Ice fishing is a little different, but hard water. I actually prefer hard water fishing sometimes over soft water for lack of boat fishing.
Really?
Well, there's something about being out there in the ice and being able to walk around and do your thing. It's hard to walk in a boat sometimes. So.
Yeah. Well, I got to be honest. The times I've been ice fishing, we probably played cards more than we.
Well, there's the social aspect of that, Gordy, which is nothing wrong with that. So.
More than we really fish. Mike Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A few New Year's Eves, we'd go out with his kids.
Okay.
On French Lake.
Yeah, Mike is.
That was fun.
He's a big fisherman and stuff like that. So.
His kids, all grown up now.
Yep, that happens. I know his kids through church and stuff on that order, and they've grown up. And Mike and I actually have done a couple ice fishing trips together and stuff up to the big lake that keeps growing and stuff up there, and with the big perch and stuff like Devil's Lake up in North Dakota.
So how is the fishing on our area lakes, Bob? Have you been out much this year?
The reports are kind of spotty. We're catching. I've got some guys that are telling me they're catching a few fish here and there. There was a big hit on Cannon Lake a while back with some perch activity and that, but I think it changes with the weather and as things come through here and stuff. Best thing I tell you is check with your local bait shops and find out what the depths are and where they're catching them at. Those guys know their business, and that's what they're in the business for. So. Yeah,
heading to French Lake, you get reports on French?
I've got spotty reports out on French and stuff. Some guys are having some really good luck out there. They found some nice crappies and that. But, Gordy, I'm a fisherman. I can't tell you all the secrets on the air and like that. So.
I know. I'm just curious of whether the kids you think will be busy on that Saturday.
Last year we caught 47 fish, and so we had a very successful year there. And with all this activity on top of the water on the ice like that, we still managed to catch 47 fish. So yep, we had good success. We had a very successful event last year, and even despite the weather and being not as cooperative as we'd like. So
have you heard, is this 4-year-old coming back to defend her crown?
I haven't heard if she's coming.
5 now,
she'll probably be 5 now, but I think she had a great time last year, and I want to stress to the kids, it is a winter activity. If you're coming out on the ice, you got to dress for that, and you want to make sure you have some boots on and snow pants and things like that. So. It's it's Minnesota. We got dress for success, as the saying goes.
I was at a convenience store in Lakeville on my way home last night. Stopped there. There's a young guy in there in shorts, and I think it was 11 degrees or 10 degrees, something like that.
Well, Bud Grant.
Shook my head.
Bud Grant walked out on that field up there in the Twin Cities and just in the polo. You gotta love it. That's a Minnesotan for you.
Yeah, see, 88, something like that. Wow. Bob Cochran is with us. He's from the Faribault Elks Lodge, number 1166. Let's touch on the Elks, Bob, because maybe some folks haven't heard what the Elks is all about. Obviously, you do more than just the youth ice fishing contest.
Gordy, the Elks have been in the Faribault community for, we celebrated our 100-year anniversary in 2009. So that puts us at, 107 years, thank you. But we've been actually providing services to the community. We are a charitable-based organization. We have a strong youth activities with our ice fishing contest, our soccer shoot, our hoop shoot programs. We also have an Americanism program that we do essay work in the schools, along with our drug awareness, trying to get the message out that drugs are not the thing to do for kids and that. So we have a really strong youth activity program there. Elks are not known for it, but we're actually second to the United States government in scholarships awarded. We have a strong, here locally, we have our Student of the Month program. We do a lot with scholarships on the national level. I was happy to reward a $4,000 scholarship several years when I was an Exalted Ruler That year we had one of our local recipients that actually started here at the local level, and her essays and her application went up the line, and actually she won a $4,000 scholarship from the national. I've had the privilege of being out at the national convention and listen to some of these young men and women it makes you feel good, because these kids are coming up the ladder, and they're going to do great things, and the Elks have rewarded them with the major scholarships and stuff.
Let's hope they remember that, though, and join the Elks.
Well, they do, actually. One of the things, you have to be 21 to be an Elk member, and when these kids get out of college and stuff on that order, they do come back, and you see follow-ups. The National is very good about follow-ups, that they are joining the Elks. And that's what we need. We need those young men and women coming into our organization, because they're our future leaders. And to provide these kind of services to the community, we need people coming in. So.
What is the average age, you think, of an Elks member, Faribault chapter?
Faribault Elks right now, our average age is 55, 60. So. We have members that are on the 21 age group, and then the majority of our members are in that 60 to 70 age group and stuff. So,
I mean, it's a concern, I know, for me, because I don't see a lot of youth involved in a lot of the clubs in the community.
Well, I agree with that, and that's on a national level. Like you and I were talking a little bit. I do a lot with the state membership drive also. And a lot of these organizations, whether it be the Moose, the Eagles, the Elks, Lions, we're not seeing the young people come into the organization, which is unfortunate. I mean, because all these groups do a lot of things for our communities. I mean, we talked about the Pancake Breakfast, and that we do the scholarships. Each of them have their special activities that they do.
Yep.
And so it's unfortunate. I'm happy to say, though, the Faribault group here, we've got a strong volunteer core that is growing. We've got some really active members that do a great job in the community. We get some grants working with the Basic Blessings program. We do some things with, again, like the ice fishing contest, and we're trying to be involved in our community and give back. Because Faribault's a great community, and we need to give back to it. So.
Yeah, and what makes it greater is organizations like this.
It does. I mean, you have city government can only do so much, and I'm happy to report that we had our youth Christmas party actually was very well attended also, and that's another way of giving back to the community and stuff. So there's a lot of kids in need on that order. So
if people are interested in becoming an Elk, how do they do that?
Well, they can stop by the lodge. We have an application process. We have members that should be asking their members to join in that. So, and it's stop by the local lodge and check us out.
Wow. It says here that scientists say they have detected gravitational ripples, just as Einstein predicted a century ago.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that something?
All right. Checking his text there.
That was from the Associated Press. So, Bob Cochran again in studio. We certainly appreciate your stopping in today, Bob, and giving us all the information about the Youth Ice Fishing Contest, Faribault Elks Lodge 1166, again on Saturday, February 27th on French Lake. This is a weather permitting event. You'll let us know what the decision is so we can pass that along, right?
Yep, we're going to be contacting KDHL and getting the word out that way through the local radio station. And hopefully we'll probably do a Facebook blast also on that.
Oh, sure.
So,
yeah, you have a Facebook page.
So we do, and we'll be posting on that, and we'll probably have people the day of the contest at the access to say, I'm sorry, we can't do the contest, or yep, contest is on. So one way or another, we'll let folks know that if it's on or if it's not. So
unless it really gets warm, I would guess you're going to have it.
Well, if the weather stays like this, and I looked at my truck on the way down here, it was -3, so it's going to we're making good ice now. So
as long as we keep that up, we don't need 50-degree days or anything.
Now we had one year, it was kind of fun. I had a 50-degree day on Thursday, one of the years of the contest, and it kind of melted out there, and we had a big skating rink, and some of the kids had more fun skating on the ice than they did fishing on the ice. So
Oh, okay.
I had a great picture of them, 10 or 12 of them looking down inside into the hole, wondering where's all the fish, So that's great. So
Yeah.
some really good experiences.
Yeah, what a terrific event. And with, our proximity with all the lakes we have in the area, what a great thing to learn.
Well, I tell you what, Faribault's got 20 lakes within 20 miles of the community, and we have plenty of opportunity for these kids to get out. And when they come out of the ice, like I said, they're going to get a bag, and they're going to get a prize ticket, and they'll walk away probably with a fishing pole or something related to ice fishing.
You always do this on French?
We have been sticking with French. It seems like, once you start with something, it's kind of nice to keep it consistent for folks so they know where it's going to be at. We've tried to maintain towards the end of February as far as our timetable and that. Last year it was around the 20th. We actually pushed it back a week here just to help out and see if that provides us better ice conditions than that.
So take it in, folks. Take your kids, your grandkids. Again, every child needs to be accompanied by an adult. Well, you said somebody brought out 6 people, but...
Well, one responsible adult can handle that. So we have our helpers,
Right.
and but we don't want to. I don't want to have kids being just dropped off on the ice. That's not fair to them, and that's not fair to us, and that. So I think that's why we ask for a responsible adult, to be there, and whether it be an uncle, whether it be a parent or a grandparent or whatever, neighbor, somebody that's going to be responsible, because it's a 16 and under event, and they can come out and have a good time with the kids on the ice and that type of deal. So.
Do you find a lot of tweeners, I guess they call them, don't they? The tweeners, the young teens, or is it mostly young kids, like 5, 6,
most
7?
of our kids are, we're mostly a 16 and under group. The tweeners are not. I don't have a lot of those folks coming out. So.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks again, Bob. And
well, you bet, Gordy. Again, we appreciate you letting us come on the air today. So.
Hopefully you don't have to go back to work.
I do, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. Again, Bob Cochran, our guest this morning. Tomorrow, Dusty Deans will be joining Jerry Grosskreutz, who will be filling in for yours truly. I'm heading down to my uncle's funeral down in Ottumwa, Iowa, so I got a little bit of a drive tomorrow to head down to that. You're in tune to KDHLAM in Faribault, Minnesota. We've got beautiful sunshine, nothing but blue skies currently downtown. Again,